I didn't because they had like there was a thing with it, so there was an issue with it. So I thought like if I had done that, I'd be like, I damaged him with the scissors. Plus my hands were like. And the other thing is, I really feel that they should feed the father better during that process. Did you find this? Like, sure, the wife's having a baby. And she's got all that, stuff going on. But I was hungry. When I get hungry, I get kind of grumpy. So, I was constantly like Jane packed all these snacks. Like that is a smart woman. Jane she packed snacks. And I thought they were snacks for her. They were snacks for me. So I'm literally like, they're in the operating room, everyone's got their gloves on and little things. I'm like, tell me how it's going. Hell no. So I ate through the entire process. That was, what was the question? That's a lot of a change. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that sucks the most about being a father is that all of a sudden, all those movies where people do terrible things, I have a difficult time watching them. Like if babies get hurt or threatened, I'm like, well, this is unacceptable. Even if it's like a tiny little side plot, like I watched a movie recently where it was a security guard, and he was like in the background. He's a security guard at a bank, and you find out that he's just about to have a baby. But it's just like, again, it's like not part of the plot at all. It's just all about the guy in the bank robbery. He gets shot. The rest of the movie, I kept hearing Jane saying, well, what is the mother going to do? Because he's lost the job, doesn't it? The baby's going to go to his own. He's not going to father. Missed the entire rest of the movie because I was just traumatized by the fact that this woman was going to have to raise a kid without some guy who worked for a day on the film. So that's a big difference for me. That was the biggest sudden change that I was completely unaware of. It's I prefer now movies where zombies are fine because they're dead already. But so I can go for that stuff. But the idea of people, all of a sudden, I find myself very sensitive to the whole sort of breaking up of the family, and which is like it's a part of like every movie you've ever seen now. And I'm crying in telephone commercials. That's the other one as well. Oh, he wants to call home. Wants to call home. Guys, get out of the dog food. Get in the dog food all the time. So. Longest answer ever. Longer than the birth of the child. Next question. Yes.
It seems like the Stargate franchise is pretty supportive of the cast writing and directing anything they're interested in like that. Is there any reason that we've never seen you write and direct with Stargate?
That's a tough one because the thing they told me, which is probably just an excuse, was they said, well, if you're going to direct an episode, then then we're going to have to take you out of the episode before so you can prep. You're going to be light in the episode that you're directing, and then you're going to be post-production so you can be light in that. So basically they said, we got to take you out of 3 episodes, which is not good for us. So they're not big on that. The other issue that when I first started, I wanted to write episodes, I wanted to direct episodes. After a couple of years, there's just no time. Time was the reason why I pushed to do stuff in my hiatus was because then you have time to sort of relax and actually do the job. My concern with directing the show is that you just don't have, you just wouldn't be able to sort of see things through the whole process. And they were very helpful during the hiatus. But to be honest, the very strong sense I got from them, and I think a lot of us got from them, was that it wasn't something they were happy about doing. I don't think they liked the idea of us directing. So I think they were very, very helpful when we were on holiday, and it was our own projects. But I think they have a very specific way of doing stuff, and which I understand. And it's not, and also it's one thing for me to go off and direct a movie of my own, with my own money and my friend's money and that kind of stuff. This is a big deal. It's sort of not to be taken lightly. So I would very much like to direct an episode, and who knows, maybe I can talk about directing something later on. But while you're on the shows, it was definitely difficult, and I think it was not exactly. I don't think it's their cup of tea. Not quite what they want. So, hello. All right. And
Atlantis, McKay has this sort of thing with Shepard always getting the Kirk moment.
Yeah.
Take the shirt off, getting the girl.
I see you when we get your shirt.
What's the Doc's alternate? Your chance to get your shirt off or be the joke?
I do my best to keep my clothes on. Generally, it's better for my career and my social life. There's definitely this last season, season 5, there's been a lot of interesting stuff because there's this sort of triangle happening with Ronan and season 4 as well. So, sort of triangle happening with Ronan and Keller and McKay, which is an odd combination. So basically, it's kind of, it's funny because I think Joe would probably like to have that himself, not to be seeing people, not to be having like a one episode affair with people. I don't think that's his. He really, I did think, wanted an arc of a relationship throughout that. And he always joked that his girlfriend on the show was me. That McKay was basically his girlfriend because it's the one that we have the relationship to go up and down. I'm yelling at him, he's yelling at me. We're apologizing, like make-up scenes, make up. And he was always lamenting the fact that I wasn't a hot blonde. Find myself in that position a couple times myself.
Hi, I was wondering, in light of your earlier comments about sharks, we come on the bear versus
Sorry, about the what?
Sharks?
Sharks, yes.
We
I call them
come on
sharks.
the bear versus shark debate.
The what?
Bear versus shark. It's very serious. Now, bear versus shark.
Beer?
Beer.
The drink? Oh, bear. Beer bears versus sharks.
Yeah.
Where would they be fighting? Because I'm thinking that, on land, chances are the bear had a slight advantage.
We had to take that into account, but I haven't.
Right, okay. So I've got some kind of a hybrid arena with a shark on one corner and a bear at the other. I put my money on the shark, he's been around longer. Bears, they just look so cute. Jane has this weird thing about polar bears. She says, like, if I could die anyway, I would like to be killed by a polar bear. That's eaten alive by an animal. Like, but they're so lovely. They're so lovely when they're eating you. I'd go with the shark. My money would be on the shark. Those suckers just go. They're just incredible pieces of machines.
I've also heard some people say on the internet, so it must be true, that you should be considered for the next Doctor Who. Yeah. So I'm wondering, how's your English accent? Do you think you can pull it off?
The English accent's so funny because I've had all accents hammered out of me since I was like 16 when I first started acting. So I feel like I'm more American than Americans now. Because I'm Canadian, but I've been playing Americans for 20 years. So I'd actually have to study the English accent, which is funny. Because we used to go back for summers and visit my grandparents in England, and we'd come back with English accents because we'd spent 4 months or whatever in England. Come back with these little accents, and then have them thrash out of us again. Ooh, gee. I'm the top of this. And then you show up in England, they'd be like, American. Basically, you had to become a chameleon just to survive. So I would have to work on the English accent. But the Doctor Who thing was always, it's such a weird thing because Tennant's doing a fantastic job. He's also younger. And has more hair. I don't hold it against him. It's one of those things that I think, it's obviously it would be a fantastic role. People talk about what role would you like to play. I love Doctor Who. I don't know what I do with it though because it's so ingrained. I'm so Tom Baker on that stuff. Like, Pertwee and Baker were the guys I grew up with, and I don't know what I would do different. I would like the idea of doing Doctor Who with Eddie Izzard. Eddie Izzard was up for the role, and I thought, what a fantastic way to go, because that is just that. If you're a Time Lord who, you know, the new show, there seems to be kind of a sort of an asexual quality to it, you know, or multisexual quality to it. You know, Eddie Izzard to me, like, you know, you show up in pumps on a planet, you know, with that kind of attitude and that kind of high makeup, and you know, that's making an impression.